Hello, Chiefs fans, and welcome to RGR Football and your Week 9 edition of Kingdom Corner, where the Carolina Panthers are coming into town to play the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead, and it's two teams going in different directions. The Chiefs are sitting at 7-1, while the Panthers are clawing their way up at 3-5, sitting at third in the NFC South. You have two teams here with very different situations. You have a quarterback who's a first-year player in a system, came off the bench last year for the Saints and Teddy Bridgewater and played admirably well, but it's a new system. It's a first-time head coach in the NFL, Matt Rule, who was coaching in college last season, and things are going a little bit bumpy, as could be expected. Add to that the fact that Christian McCaffrey, not arguably, but definitely their best player, has been out and is just coming back possibly this week. We'll see if he actually plays or not. We haven't got an official notification of whether he's starting, whether he's going to be removed from injured reserve. On the Chiefs side of the football, we have L'Jarius Sneed. We all miss that guy. He's been on injured reserve as well. He may come off this weekend. We'll have to see. Either way, both those players, we're not sure if they're going to start, but they could have big impacts on opposite sides of the ball in this game. Teddy Bridgewater sitting at about 9 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. He has 2 more touchdown passes than Tyreek Hill has touchdown catches. That shows you a little sample of the differences in these teams. Their leading rusher is Mike Davis, who has 350 yards. He's 200 yards behind Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And, by the way, we have Le'Veon Bell backing him up. Whether Christian McCaffrey plays or not, it's going to be a pretty balanced running attack comparison for the two teams. That said, with Russell Okung doubtful for the Panthers, and Mitch Schwartz doubtful for the Chiefs. Well, out for the Chiefs, actually. We just got the notification. He's out. So you have offensive line issues on both teams. That said, the Chiefs' offensive line has already recovered from that and inserted new players, and we've got a good rotation going that we know works. The weapons across the board, Curtis Samuel, Roddy Anderson, DJ Moore versus Tyreek Hill. Possibly Sammy Watkins will return. We're not sure yet. Mecole Hardman, Travis Kelce, who's the Chiefs' leading receiver and leading pass target. So we have an edge there as well. Obviously, we're not even getting into the Patrick Mahomes situation. We have the best quarterback in the NFL sitting on 21 touchdowns and 1 interception. He inserted himself right back into the MVP conversation last week, and he might repeat that performance this week against a secondary that's got a lot of no-name players in it. The most familiar one being possibly Trey Boston, who the Chiefs know well and have torched on several occasions. It shouldn't be that much of a game. You have some interesting matchups. If Jeremy Chin can go, we're not sure yet. But he's 6'3", 220, has some good speed, good size. Will he be able to cover Travis Kelce? I personally doubt it. When corners from the Texans couldn't cover him in single and double coverage over top of him last year in the playoffs, that sold it for me. I've always loved Travis Kelce's game. But that's just, you can't not recognize that ability when you're able to beat 2 corners. So Jeremy Chin getting in there might be a good thing for them. It might be a bad thing because he might aggravate something. We'll see. He's coming through injury right now as well. The running game, like I said, I'd give the advantage to Kansas City just because the line is more sure. And even with McCaffrey, he's coming off injury, so how ready is he going to be? The Chiefs are rolling. The Chiefs are offensively a juggernaut. The Chiefs are seemingly unstoppable. Last week against the Jets, it was the Jets. Well, the Jets have an NFL football team. They've only averaged about 9 points a game. They got 9 points last week. They came out fighting. They didn't give in. In the second half, they got shut down. They didn't score a point. Last week, the Panthers struggled mightily with the Atlanta Falcons, who are not a good defensive football team at all. They only managed to score 3 points in the second half. That is not going to get it done against your Kansas City Chiefs. If this team doesn't come out and have some kind of a eureka game or a pride, just we're not losing today type of game, it could be over by halftime. We'll have to see. Games aren't played on paper. We all learned that by Raiders Week. But I'm looking forward to the Chiefs coming out there and showing why they're the best team in football, regardless of the record. The Steelers have one more win than them. They did not look like they were very top of the league last week against the Ravens when they were begging to get beat, and Lamar Jackson just kept giving the ball to the other team. I expect the Chiefs to go into their bye week 8-1. They have the bye after this week to get the players rested up. Following that, it's going to be revenge week, Raiders Week, at Las Vegas. That'll be interesting to watch. We'll talk about that next week, of course. But for now, honestly, with the player situations that we have right now, Frank Clark's a little nicked up. He's questionable. Sammy Watkins questionable. Mitchell Schwartz is out. I would prefer those three along with L'Jarius Sneed. LJ, just sit them all, give them some rest, get some reps for the other players. We've shown we can play without those guys. We want them down the stretch. We want them in the playoffs. Those are players you do not want to be without when the games are one and done. Let the guys get rest, get healthy on a struggling Panthers team, and everybody else that's on next man up duty, get out there and show us what you got. If you want to stay in this franchise, if you want to be a Chief come next season, this is one of those opportunities where players can step up and really show what they're worth. I expect to see a score somewhere in the area of a lot of pundits have said similar scores in the low mid 30s to the upper teens, low 20s. My pick this week, as of Wednesday when I did Chiefs Chat at 8 p.m. with Hong Forrest. Check us out on Wednesday nights on YouTube. My pick was 32-21, and I'm going to stay with that. I think it's going to be about 32-21. I think that the Chiefs are going to come out balanced, attack with the run, attack with the pass. The defense is going to smother them for most of the game. They might break off a few plays. Curtis Samuel's got some breakaway speed. If McCaffrey plays, who knows what that kid might do to us on an occasion here or there. But I just think our defense is just well-rounded enough right now, and that pass defense is just elite. Playing elite football right now, and we don't have elite name talent on our pass defense. The biggest name is the Honey Badger, and he plays safety. But we're shutting teams down through the air. That tells you a lot. That tells you what his leadership is worth and how this team is answering the call. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of things Andy and Eric pull out. Maybe maybe Dave Tobe might try something interesting this week. Last week, the Carolina Panthers pulled a fake punt on the Atlanta Falcons. Direct snap to Jeremy Chin, who ran for 28 yards. The kid's an athlete now. Okay, he's got to be monitored on special teams. I don't think they're going to catch Dave Tobe sleeping, but I'd like to see Dave try to catch them with a little razzle-dazzle, something going on, especially if we get up about 14 or 17 points, and it's a very short yardage situation, maybe just inside our side of the field. Just want to have that go-ahead, put-them-away touchdown, in which case we could see the score get up close to the 40s again. This team did not look great defensively last week against Atlanta. They let Atlanta's quarterback, Matty Ice, get loose a couple times and have opening lanes to run, which he didn't take advantage, except for one time, which he ran down the right side, and I think it was a dozen or so yards. He got a touchdown running. Matty's about a step faster than Peyton Manning was. He's not an elite athlete at all. If they give Patrick Mahomes lanes like that, we could see some rushing yardage from Patrick this week. We haven't seen anything for a couple of weeks now. Thankfully, he hasn't needed to. Another thing we haven't seen really great production in recently was sacks. I'm looking forward to Sack Nation getting off the schneid this week, especially if Russell Okung is out and Chris Jones goes. I think we're going to see some pressure up the middle. Colin Saunders has got to be itching for his first sack of the season, and he's going to be giving it some push, as well as anybody that's got a chance to sub in there for Alex Okafor while he's out. There's guys that are hungry on this defensive line. They want to be part of the rotation. They want to be out there in the playoffs. They don't want to be standing on the sideline when Kansas City's going for gold, and they want to be effective, dominating players on the defense. I'm looking forward to seeing what the young guys bring this week. I'm looking forward to seeing what the vets bring and how they lead them on the field and on the sidelines. I'm really looking forward to seeing the sausage get back in there. Anthony Sherman should be back out there dressed and ready to slobber knock a few linebackers on run plays, and I'd like to see how that affects the game for Le'Veon and Clyde Edwards-Helaire against the mediocre Panthers team. Let's be honest. They're not the Jets, but they're not anything to write home about right now. Watch out for Teddy Bridgewater. Watch out for Christian McCaffrey. Watch out for a couple of those speedy receivers. But I think all in all, it's going to be a dominating win by the Kansas City Chiefs for the third week in a row. Look for those Kansas City Chiefs to win tomorrow. Have fun.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.